being here and working in student media, you understand there is a time commitment, and that is another thing that people don't really understand. In the media business, there is a time commitment that you give towards, there is no such thing as 9 to 5 in the media industry. If you're a reporter or a writer for anything, 9 to 5 does not really exist.
As well as being the voice of a university campus, student media is a crucial facet in the education of new media communications students. Whether in FM, TV, or print, becoming an active part of student media is critical in providing experience and marketability in real-world job situations. Without working outside the classroom, it is difficult for NMC students to understand what it means to work in an actual media outlet.
I mean, there's kind of two ways of taking your college experience. You know, your extracurricular activities are, you know, things to further your education and your learning experience, or you can literally just do the basics, go to class, do the projects, and get out of here with a piece of paper and no experience on your belt. This is going to help you in the long run if you want to go into really any job. Working at the Barometer teaches you to write better and write in a news format, but you can also write soft news too, and it just improves your writing skills, and you can take that to any job you go to. There is really no bad job or any job that I could see where writing for the Barometer will not benefit you.
Leaders in student media at OSU are full-time students who often hold additional jobs outside of their posts in Snell Hall. The process of working in media at the university level is a learning experience outside of the classroom. But currently, these students have no teacher. Without a mentor, an expert to offer editorial advice, students are literally on their own to make decisions and inevitably make mistakes.
Well, you guys need to get a director. You need to sit down and talk about the programs, which programs are successful, which need a shot in the arm. You need to experiment. You need to try some things out, and then decide what the next step is. It's like herding cats. Because you guys have all these wonderful ideas, and the student media director should create an opportunity for you guys to try out those ideas and learn and make mistakes. And so what if you make mistakes? You know, every single day there are mistakes in the Barometer. So what? You know, you guys see those mistakes, you feel bad, and you try to do better, you know, the next time around. So you know, it's for fiscally, I think my job here was to try to generate as much money as we could, and so that we could go on trips, and that we could buy new computers and new cameras and attend conferences. And I think that's what the student media director needs to do. But in addition, to help you guys out editorially. When there's an issue out there that you guys needed some help on, you need somebody who can say, you know, how can we do better, or how can we get out of this jam, or because there are issues that are going to come up. The Barometer is going to offend people, and that's all part of the learning process too. So
now what we most need is someone who can envision the future of media and help us move from our sort of aged platform of delivery to a more future-oriented platform, probably a more integrated platform of media. So we're heavily emphasizing in the search documents and in the job description leadership for transformation. If you look at what's happening in broadcast media and print media, if you look at the aging facilities that we have, we're really ready to move to a new platform, and we need someone who is a process-oriented person who can work with the hundreds of people who care about this issue and help develop the synergy and form the collaborations that will be necessary to move to a more integrated media experience at OSU.
Here I've been gone almost a year, and so you got to have somebody who's out there rooting for you guys and being the head cheerleader, so to speak, to create this awareness about this program, because very often over the years this has been the model program, considered one of the best student media programs in the nation. And the director's job has been considered as one of the best student media jobs in the nation. So you got to get somebody to, in this position. You got to toot and holler to get the person that you want, and then that person needs to go to work.
Search. And so we appealed it. Both Dr. Roper, Vice Provost of Student Affairs, and I appealed it and asked a second time for them to reconsider, and it came back denied a second time. When it came back denied the second time, they asked us to form a committee that would look at the potential for one person to both lead the new media communications area and student media. Mm-hmm. We formed that team. They took about 6 months to review, looked at issues nationwide. I really came back and said there's no way that one person could possibly do better.
I think in this age at OSU, everybody's looking out for their own necks, and every program is being examined, and every position is being examined. And I think while it may appear that people don't care about student media, I think it's a survival of the fittest, and survival for your program, and keep your department or your area in the forefront. And student media has taken a sort of a back seat to everything else that's going on in this campus fiscally.
After the journalism and broadcast programs at OSU closed in the early 90s, all forms of student media suffered a serious decrease in the number of student participants, as well as a loss of an important resource. Almost 15 years later, the university added the new media communications major, which is still a young and developing program.
The nature of the person has changed. When they eliminated journalism and broadcasting, first of all, we had a significant decrease in broadcasting, especially KBVR TV, because there were no majors. People at the Barometer still stayed, and there has been a sort of a nucleus of students who are interested in going on and working in print media, that they decided that this was a good place to learn. So the mix has sort of been about 50-50 of media majors to non-media majors.
So it didn't seem like it was so dramatic at first, but then when we lost the journalism department, we had less people, we couldn't fill as much, ads declining. There was a lot of factors. You can't blame one thing, but when you combine all those, it makes quite a bit of difference. And probably just, I'd say like the last 3, maybe 5 years is when it's like really hurt. We have not had over like a 12-page daily in, the last 2-3 years.
Another pressing issue for student media is the fact that its home, Snow Hall, or MU East, is a condemned structure and needs to be vacated within the next few years.